The T-Mobile and Sprint merger has created a lot of great things. It has created a ton of network capacity. What it's done is it's allowed T-Mobile to create the 5G ultra capacity layer that has really upgraded people's experience on both T-Mobile and Sprint. Those customers have enjoyed incredible speeds, 5G home internet, a slew of other benefits to like coverage and overlapping coverage and shared network access, like that type of thing has been really good. But we're starting to see kind of the downside to mergers. We've seen jobs lost because of redundancies. We've seen stores get closed. We've seen metro dealer problems. We have seen lawsuits claiming that the Sprint and T-Mobile merger reduced competition and caused Verizon and AT&T customers to have to pay more for service. And those are some of the downsides, right? And here's another one. There is now a class action lawsuit that is alleging that T-Mobile left Sprint 5G customers out in the cold. Let's take a look at these details here today in this video and see if indeed this is the case. So this potential class action lawsuit is in regards to Sprint legacy 5G network shutdowns following the acquisition of Sprint by T-Mobile. According to Light Reading, and we've covered stuff from that website quite a bit, this is a single lawsuit from a single person. The plaintiff is aiming to rope in other customers, so that would create a class action, purchased Sprint 5G compatible devices without being informed of the shutdown that lost 5G access, with up to 75,000 phones potentially affected. That's a lot of potential customers that could be included if the suit continues and the class is certified. Okay, so I discussed this on my channel extensively 2 years ago. And the reason for this being a problem is because in the early onset of 5G devices, and namely the following devices: the LG V50 ThinQ, the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G, the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G, those were first gen 5G phones. And when you bought those phones, you bought them from a carrier for the carrier because they were each a little bit different. Some were low band 5G only, some had mid band 5G, some had millimeter wave. It was really messy. That's like early adopter growing pains, right? And the Sprint 5G network that launched a few years ago, a couple years ago, I think it was like, was it middle of the year 2019 or something like that? Maybe June, July. Verizon launched millimeter wave, T-Mobile launched low band, and Sprint launched mid band 5G. So they all did it differently because it was the spectrum that they had. So these phones pretty much immediately for 5G were rendered useless and obsolete, right? Not being able to, after about a year, be able to actually utilize what they were designed for. The Sprint network is gone. Uh, so that mid-band channel is completely different now, right? It's now owned and operated by T-Mobile. It's no longer Sprint. Verizon now has both millimeter wave and mid-band and the low-band 5G. The OnePlus, I mean, if you got it from T-Mobile, it was low-band. If you got it from Sprint, it was mid-band. I'm trying to remember if there was a millimeter wave version for Verizon. These problems happen when technology changes quickly in the early onset and the evolution of that technology. Plus, you had a merger. I think these people, unfortunately, are terribly misinformed and are drawing conclusions that were beyond the control of the situation. So you're wrapped up in a merger. The problem is Sprint, right? They failed as a company. That's not T-Mobile's fault. I'm Look, I don't sit here and protect corporations, but you have to be realistic. This lawsuit doesn't have a leg to stand on. 100% there were notifications sent to customers from T-Mobile to Sprint customers and T-Mobile customers about phone incompatibilities. People went into stores, there were people that needed new SIM cards. I know for a fact in discussions with Pete the Bearded Dragon, who has been a T-Mobile customer for years, they sent him 3G shutdown notifications, 2G shutdown notifications, Sprint legacy network notifications. They have been sending these out. This, I don't think, is going to get anywhere. I don't think this holds up. It does not have a leg to stand on. When you think about not only the phone compatibility issues with the evolution of the tech, plus the notifications being sent, it's just not going to happen. There's no way that this is going to go anywhere. So, in combination of the class action lawsuit of the Verizon and AT&T customers saying that we lost competition and it's hurting us, plus this one, I feel like this is all just crying over spilled milk. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just being realistic. This is a good to know. I don't know if you want to get involved as a customer. Some people probably feel jaded. It's kind of like the situation of, watching the ex-girlfriend or the ex-boyfriend move on to bigger, better things, and you're left out in the dark. I don't know how you, as an analogy, I don't know if you guys think of a better analogy. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know if you were impacted by this. I know I'm making it kind of playful, and I know this probably bothered some people. These types of things are going to happen, you know, and you can imagine what it's like right now to be on the track phone side with, former track phone customers or current track phone customers with Verizon taking over that network access, taking over that business and those 20 million subscribers. It's not unique and it's not a special, extreme circumstance. This stuff happens all the time. The only thing you could really do is take advantage of the free upgrades that T-Mobile slash Sprint has offered. Some people have been unresponsive. Some people, maybe they've been mishandled. It's very possible. There was a lot of that in the T-Mobile stores in the early onset. They couldn't access or didn't know how to properly access the Sprint tools and the accounts and all that. So some of that may have been a problem too. And I guarantee you, we have to hold T-Mobile accountable for some of that stuff too. But at the end of the day, Sprint failed, and this is the residual garbage that's left behind all of those years of misproper management, horrible execution, lack of systems, bad leadership, horrible ownership. This is all Sprint's fault. I'm not going to put that onto T-Mobile in that instance. Maybe some of the customer, the way that things were handled in the early onset of the merger, it may have been on T-Mobile. But believe you me, they're trying to get customers moved over to their newer 5G phones that offer deals and getting people out of old Sprint, leases. But tell me your situation if you've got something that happened to you and what happened here. What do you guys think of the chances of this going uh, class action? What do you think the outcome will be? Do you think they have a leg to stand on or not? Explain yourself. Let me know. Throw in all the other stuff going on with like the Verizon AT&T customer class action lawsuit. Any of the troubles and experiences have you had with all this? I'd love to hear what you have to say. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. I'll go ahead and link this in the description. Also, there is my Patreon page, my Twitter handle, and all business inquiries can go to the Gmail address in the description box as well. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on that bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. And we out this piece. Peace.